6:15 a.m. Fog rolling in off the Atlantic like a ghost from some old pirate tale. I'm out on the dock behind Hawthorne's Charters, the family business that's been my anchor since I was knee-high to a barnacle. Salt air thick enough to chew, mixed with that briny tang of low tide and the faint diesel hum from the engines idling below deck. My hands, call used from 40 years of hauling lines and wrestling swells, are wrapped around a steaming mug of black coffee strong as tar, just how my old man made it. The sirens call, our 42-foot Bertram we've run charters on since '78, bobs gently against the pilings, her hull gleaming under the first pink streak of dawn. I named her after Ellie, my wife of 38 years. Cancer stole her 6 winters back, but every charter I run, I feel her laugh in the spray, her hand steady on the wheel when the seas turn mean. I'm checking the bait fridge, live shrimp wriggling like they know what's coming when I hear it. Crunch of tires on the shell gravel lot, then the slam of a car door that echoes like a judge's gavel. Out of the mist steps this woman, all sharp angles and designer rain slicker, clutching a clipboard like it's the Ark of the Covenant. Victoria Langford calls herself Tory to sound folksy, but it comes out like she's gargling pearls. Mid-40s, blonde bob helmeted with hairspray, eyes like chips of sea glass but cold as a nor'easter. She's the self-crowned queen of the Bayview Preservation Alliance, or BPA as she brands it with those glossy flyers she slaps on every lamppost from here to the county line. Mr. Hawthorne, she barks, voice slicing through the fog like a foghorn. This is your final warning. That eyesore of a dock is in direct violation of coastal preservation codes. I'm calling the harbor master right now unless you agree to dismantle it by noon. Her phone's already out, thumb hovering like she's about to summon the apocalypse. I set my mug down on a piling, steam curling up to mingle with the mist. The shrimp keep dancing in their tank, oblivious. Before I can even crack a smile, she's dialing. Yes, hello Harbor Master's office, this is Tory Langford with the BPA. We have an illegal structure at Hawthorne's Charters, Dock 7. Immediate threat to marine habitat. Send a unit. Sirens not, but I swear I hear the distant wail of entitlement in her tone. The fog lifts just enough to show her smirk, that smug curl like she owns the tide. My charter's deep-sea fishing for tourists, sunset cruises for locals book solid from May to October. That dock's been here since my granddad drove spikes into the pilings during the Depression, feeding families when the canneries shut down. Ellie's ashes are scattered off its end, we said our vows on it under a harvest moon. And now this transplant thinks she can wave a clipboard and wash it all away. What would you do right then? Coffee going cold, the love of your life echoing in every creak of the wood, yell, laugh, or just sip slow and watch her squirm. Drop your thoughts below. Ever had a busybody try to sink your ship? Were you tuning in from saltwater coast or landlocked dream? This tale's just cresting. Stick around, cause it gets tidal. Name's Elias Hawthorne, 62, born and barnacle scarred right here in Bayview, North Carolina, a spit of sand and salt marsh where the Neuse River kisses the Pamlico Sound. Population 1,200, give or take the snowbirds who flock south when the maples turn. Our main drag's got one stoplight, a bait shop that doubles as the post office, and a diner called the Salty Dog where the coffee's free if you spin a good yarn. Folks here fish for a living or retire to watch others do it, and the air always carries that mix of pluff mud and pine sap, with gulls screeching like they're auditioning for a Hitchcock flick. I spent 28 years in the Coast Guard, rising from deckhand to captain out of the Elizabeth City Station. Ran search and rescue ops through hurricanes that'd make your fillings rattle, interdicted smugglers hauling everything from coke to counterfeit Rolexes off the Outer Banks. Learned to read the sea's moods faster than a poker player's telcom surface, hiding riptides below. Retired 5 years ago when Ellie got sick, traded the cutter for the siren's call, turning the old Bertram into a charter rig. We ran her together those last summers, Ellie in her wide brim hat, spotting flounder beds with eyes sharper than my radar. After she passed, the boat became my therapy, varnishing teak till my knuckles bled, rigging lines like prayers. Bayview's dockmaster leased me space at Dock 7 for a song, cause Hawthorne's been woven into this town's warp and weft since 1923. Enter Tori Langford, 3 years ago. She washed up from Raleigh, flush with tech money from some ex-husband's startup. Bought the old Whitaker estate up on the bluff white-columned monstrosity overlooking the Sound, where she hosts networking brunches with out-of-towners in loafers and khakis. Tori's the type who pronounces y'all like it's French, drives a pearl-white Range Rover that guzzles premium like it's Perrier, and treats the town like her personal LinkedIn profile. Arrogant honey, she trademarked it. Entitled she patented the glare. Her motivation turned Bayview into exclusive coastal living luxury eco-condos, yacht clubs for the 1%, phasing out us working stiffs. My dock prime real estate for her developer's wet dream. Block it, and Hawthorne's folds. Simple as that. First run-in was subtle. A laminated notice taped to the siren's transom: 1 Don, BPA advisory, unauthorized dock extension detected. Cease operations or face 500 daily fines. I chuckled over my coffee extension, that Weathered Pines original, logged in county records since Eisenhower. But Toride formed the BPA herself, a non-profit cobbled from 3 retirees she buttered up at the diner with free scones. No charter from the state, no IRS filing, just a PO box and a website templated on Wix, screaming save our shores. In Comic Sans. She started small, anonymous tips to the harbor master about oil spills, my bilge pump burping rainwater, complaints to the health department over unsanitary bait storage, shrimp in a fridge, for Pete's sake. Each time, I'd flash my old Coast Guard badge, quote regs from the Code of Federal Regulations Title 33, and watch the officials backpedal. But the stakes: every bogus fine chipped at my margins, charters pay the slip fees, winter repairs, that scholarship fund for kids from fishing families Ellie dreamed up. Lose the dock, lose the legacy. Lose Ellie all over again. Harassment ramped up like a building squall, month by month, till I could plot it on a chart. Week 3 after that first notice, I'm prepping for a Gulf Stream tuna run, 6 suits from Charlotte, hungover but eager when Tori's Range Rover blocks the ramp. She's out with a megaphone, yes, a pink one from Amazon, flanked by her alliance cronies, elderly Mr. Hargrove in knee-high socks, Mrs. Ellis clutching pearls like rosary beads. Citizens of Bayview. This man's illegal operations are killing our ospreys. Demand he cease. The suits laugh at first, thinking it's performance art, but then she hands out flyers with photoshopped pics, my dock dumping toxins into the Sound, my face circled in red like a wanted poster. One client bails mid-prep, muttering about bad optics. I lose $800 that day, plus the tip. Humor in it, sure. The ospreys nesting on my pilings look fatter than ever, dive bombing mullet like dive bombers. I counter quiet, old school. Pulled out my logbook, every maintenance receipt, water quality tests from the state lab pristine, better than the yacht club up creek. Called Billy Ray, the real harbor master, assault I ran ops with back in '92. Tori again, tell her to stuff her megaphone where the sun don't shine. But she escalated, fake Yelp reviews tanking my 5-star rating, filthy dock, endangered species at risk, avoid. Petitions circulated at the farmers market claiming my charters disrupt migratory birds, news to the egrets sunning on my cleats. By month 4, She's mailing invoices on BPA letterhead 2,300 for habitat remediation, threats of liens on my slip if unpaid. Irony, the letterhead's got a typo, preservation spelled with a Z. I file it all in a waterproof binder, time-stamped photos from my GoPro strapped to the siren's bimini for safety footage, but perfect for catching her cronies trespassing at dusk. Tension peaked one muggy July eve. I'm closing up after a sunset cruise, guests raving about the dolphin pod we chased, the bioluminescent wake glowing like fairy dust when tires crunch again. Tori, this time solo, storms the dock in wedge heels that sink into the planks like punji sticks. Elias Hawthorne, you're a menace. That engine noise last week measured at 85 decibels, BPA ordinance violation. Pay up or I'll have the Coast Guard revoke your license. She's waving a decibel app on her phone, face flushed under the sodium lamps. I lean on a piling, smell of fried mullet from the bait bucket wafting up, gulls settling for the night with that soft wing whisper. Tori, darlin', that was a charter of 12 souls, legal as sunrise. And your ordnance pulled from thin air. She jabs a manicured nail at my chest. Thin air, I've got the board's vote. We're protecting this community from relics like you. Relics? That stung Ellie's voice in my head, teasing, don't let em ruffle your jib, Captain. I smiled slow, the one I used on greenhorns before a rough crossing. Board your book club with clipboards, show me the charter. She sputters, heels clacking retreat, but not before I snap a pic, her backing into a piling, clipboard flying. Posted it anonymous on the Bayview Facebook group, BPA in action, preserving our dignity, one stumble at a time. Likes poured in, first crack in her facade. Resilience, it's in the salt, I reckon. Mornings, I'd rise before the hermit crabs scuttled, brew coffee.